The Rick Moranis Archive. Why Hollywood's King of Comedy Vanished. Introduction. The Disappearance. Imagine you hold the keys to the kingdom. You are the face of three of the biggest franchises in cinematic history. The public adores you. Producers beg for your presence. And your name at the top of a poster is a guarantee of hundreds of millions of dollars in box office revenue. Now, imagine that at the absolute peak of this power, you simply decide you don't want any of it anymore. No public scandals, no substance abuse, no cancellations. In 1997, Rick Moranis, the man who brought Louis Tully, Dark Helmet, and Wayne Selinsky to life, closed the door on his career and vanished. For nearly 3 decades, the world has asked, why would a comedic genius abandon the top of the mountain? Before we dive into this archive, welcome to our brand new channel, Cinema Archives Official. This is our very first documentary, and if you love deep dives into the hidden history of Hollywood, please subscribe and join us from day one. Your support here helps us preserve these stories. Today, we open the official Rick Moranis archive to reveal the devastating and ultimately heroic truth behind Hollywood's most famous voluntary exile. The rise of the everyman genius. Rick Moranis was never the type of actor who sought the glare of the spotlight. He began his journey in Canada on the legendary show Second City Television. It was there that he developed his trademark, the intellectually brilliant but socially awkward everyman. He didn't need cheap gags. His humor came from a sharp observation of human nature and a sense of timing that few actors in history have ever managed to replicate. When Hollywood came knocking, Moranis brought something rare. He didn't just act, he created. In Ghostbusters, his role as the accountant Louis Tully was largely improvised and written by Moranis himself. He transformed what could have been a forgettable supporting character into the comedic heart of the film. Between the mid-80s and mid-90s, Rick Moranis was the Midas of comedy. He delivered classics like Little Shop of Horrors, Spaceballs, and the global phenomenon Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. He was wealthy, respected, and seemed unstoppable. But while his bank account grew, a silent tragedy behind the scenes was about to change the course of cinema history, and Rick's life forever. The tragedy that changed everything. The year was 1991. To the outside world, Moranis was on top of the world, but at home, he was living a nightmare few knew about. His wife, the talented costume designer and Belsky, tragically passed away from liver cancer. Rick was suddenly thrust into a new reality. He was now a single father with 2 young children to raise in an industry that never sleeps. Many Hollywood stars would have hired an army of nannies and continued to film in distant locations. Rick tried for a while. He continued working on films like The Flintstones, but the internal conflict was unbearable. Every hour spent on a film set was an hour away from his children, who had just lost their mother. He reached a conclusion that few people in the fame industry have the courage to admit. You cannot be a global movie star and a truly present father at the same time. Rick's decision wasn't a dramatic announcement. It was a strategic and silent withdrawal. He thought he would take a short break. But that short break became his life's purpose. The silence of the decades. As the 90s turned into the 2000s, Hollywood kept calling. Scripts for a potential Ghostbusters 3 arrived on his desk frequently. The value of the checks offered was astronomical, reaching tens of millions of dollars. But Rick Moranis had something that no studio's money could buy. He had peace and a real presence in his children's lives. He moved to the suburbs of New York and became a full-time father. To his neighbors, he wasn't the man who faced ghosts. He was just Rick, the attentive father who was always there. Unlike many other actors who become bitter as time passes, Moranis was deeply satisfied. He proved that fame is an addiction that can be overcome with clear values. The legacy of an honorable man. Recently, we have seen small glimpses of his return, like his viral commercial alongside Ryan Reynolds. But Rick has made it clear, he doesn't miss the blinding glare of fame. He doesn't need red carpets to feel like a fulfilled man. His story resonates so strongly today, in 2026 because we live in an era of relentless pursuit of attention. Everyone wants to go viral. Rick Moranis is the ultimate reminder that real success is having the freedom and the character to climb down the mountain when the people you love need you down there, in the valley of ordinary life. Rick Moranis didn't lose his career. He traded it for something that is truly eternal, the time and love of his family. He wasn't the man Hollywood forgot. He was the man Hollywood couldn't corrupt. This marks the first of many investigations here at our new home, Cinema Archives Official. If you found this story meaningful, please hit the like button and subscribe to help us grow this community from the ground up. By subscribing now, you are ensuring that these legends and their true stories are never forgotten.
No! I don't know anyone who deserves to get chopped up and fed to a hungry plant!
Sure you do!